Good morning, everyone. Hola. Buenos dias. Security Commander, Andrew Weston. Today I've set up positions in higher location positions where we're coming into the galactic forces, coming into the Delta airwaves. We're coming into a frontier. We're going to be traveling the team to conditions to high force. And we're going to go through the command centers. We're going to go through the control systems. We're going to go through the containments. We're going to go through reclamation bins. We're going to go into the quadrant levels. We're going into the vector unit core systems. The triangle division level system is set up to everything when it comes into all connections of the Galactic Federation of Light. It's important you guys understand your travels. So there's going to be a lot of wind graph location positions. There's going to be a lot of planet location positions. There's going to be a lot of dimensional realm locations, and everything through positions set up through high energy system. So I'm taking the team through the Delta Airways, right? It's on a vector unit core through its quadrant, and everything's picked up through its rendezvous. So you guys are picked up, and everything for the XD1000 is formation. It's coming in. Before I get started, thank you very much. Subscribing to my channel to keep you ground rising, force rising that's going on through connections. I'm going through a massive upgrade through my spine receptacle level system right now. It's regenerating its systems right now, okay? Because I've got basically, I've got grandfather, father, and mother, and now I'm getting great-grandfather. So I'm going to get 4 circle rotations of centers through connection. This is where you come into the higher force connections of the Earth, rotation to vibration to fifth dimensional system. Plotted to those divisions, and the simulation will be no longer a promo. Okay, so basically that's why I wanted to take everybody on the adventure, right? It's very powerful when we come through these things. So the simulation is coming into traction of 0.01. Population system is its in a correlation system. It's set up in all positions. So if you want to go through my healing, you go through my email or you go through my PayPal. I'll upgrade you and put you in your 12 cycle rotations. This will put you in a better position. Okay, GOD, Galactic Operation Dimension. Okay, and then Galactic Operation Division. Okay, so you have to work up your coordinates. You have to work up your quadrant levels. You have to work up your vector core systems. Coming into formation, anything calculation. So understanding Tango Tango, Fox Charlie, Zebra, Zuler, 1-9er. All is communication from one to another. You guys will get that through the north wind, south wind, east wind, and everything through its connections, right? When you get into higher formations, you understand more of your perceptions where you see through connection. And it's everything through shadow shifting to location positions. So when we go on travels, because we've been on the mothership, we're going on to a galactic cruiser, okay? And it's extremely big, okay? It's a really big ship, okay? It's like with Star Wars, they had the Death Star. They had the command center, right? The big thing that was floating. Well, that's what it is. So it's shaped in its anomaly, it's shaped in its triangle division, and it's shaped in its correlation panel. It's all connecting right now through the interforce connections. It's in interstellar mode through acceleration. All right, so we're in the deposit levels right now through the commanding centers. So when you guys are on this ship, I like you get prepared. I don't want anybody freak out or anything like that. So when you're traveling through that position, what's going to happen is intelligence is going to come to you and they're going to sit you down through positions. And that's what the YouTube is everybody's going to have their own seat. It's in position, right? And then you're going to see how fast you go through mocking locations, right? So you just sit back and relax and have a fun time, okay? So it's very important you have any questions at all about anything through healing or anything that you want to go through consultations, please come to me. I'll help you and put you in what you need to be in, okay? When I get the 4 arriving cycles of 4 systems, do 4 calculations, okay, a great-grandfather, okay, anything through grandfather, father, and mother, okay, and I'm in full position, okay, of simulation core. The traction location positions when it comes into 0.01 is the population when it comes into my telepathy. So everybody's going to set up to positions, okay, all humanity is in sector unit cores. They're separated in 3, 4, and 5. Right, 3rd dimension, 4th, and 5th dimension. So truly understanding your travels through positions is truly understanding your vibration through energies and frequencies and everything through harmonic resistance. Okay, my team is coming extremely informative right now. So now they're seeing things for what they are, but now's the time to get into position on what to do with what you see. Okay, so Commander, I see a box frequency level through line signal, through line communication signal. What is going on through the Gamma Operations Center? So basically, you got to know what to do with it because it's healing. When you guys go up to higher positions of chakra formations, you come into more what to do with the universe. Okay, so I just changed the correlation of the Earth. I changed the correlation of the galaxy system, and I reset positions of coloration of lights. And I said, wow, that's a powerful thing that you just did, Galactic Unit. And then you go through your soul identifications. All right, it's a card recognition light system. It's a barcode through direction. It's really powerful stuff when we come into those. I like to use sound waves or anything to do toning divisions or anything in that connection system because it high-rises everything that positions, right? Tina, Priscilla, how's it going, guys? Priscilla, I read your solar text, extremely powerful adventure that you had. Pretty amazing when you go through your dream sets. When you go through your dreams, you're going into levels of adaptation, okay? And you're going through this, and this, and this, and this. Everything is in chronological order. So understanding your program setting is in position when you see these things, when you're going through communication, through intelligence, right? Or anything through higher formation, right? With the avians, okay, the Sarians, or anything to that attraction. Okay, especially when you're coming into sapiens. Because remember, there's sapiens light and there's sapiens dark. Okay. Sometimes we have intelligence that are light and dark. Sometimes we have intelligence that are dark. All right, I said that before. But truly understanding your program setting, when you get to higher positions, you understand how to use your communications to healing, right? So this is how you take things out of traction. So if you see a dark in 84 through spacecraft location position, and it platitudes down into your ground formation systems, and I say, no, you're not coming into my position right now. I've set the coordinates. I'm in a high location position. I change my energy fields. Bye-bye, right? So basically what happens is it goes back up. Right? So it's important that you take these dark and 84 systems because you guys are higher levels now. The higher you reach through light, the more they come in through traffic. So you have to build your own traffic. Okay. It's like block and chain. Okay. It's like smart contracts, decentralized. Okay. I know all this stuff, but I have Jasmine and I have Michael, okay, that are connected to that, where they're connected through Neptune and they're connecting through Septune. Okay. So it's a link and chain, everything through division level system. The graphic and location positions everything through the institutions. That's going to change the financial reset through positions. Okay. Now, when it comes into currency or anything through forms or anything through money, right, we're going to stay with the paper rotation, right, for a while until everybody gets into acting cycles, everything to communication through the crypto divisions. The smart contracts is everything when it comes into decentralizations. You have to understand the pinpoints. You have to understand the deposits. Okay. You have to understand the instruments. You have to understand the coins. You have to understand the bitcoins. You have to understand gold. You have to understand silver. You have to understand bronze. Everything is money. When it's in the future system, when it comes into calculation, it sets everything through coordinates to location. Neptune is in that financial reset position. Okay. So you can manifest anything you want through traction, and it becomes extremely real through the physical system. All right. So like I said, it's a block and chain, right? So we have Neptune and Septune through connection through financial resets, which is its deposits, okay, through its reframing system, okay, through all connections of smart contracts. All right. So as we come into position, rendezvous connection systems, MIs, yeah, pick them up through transformation system. You guys will get more informing systems of who you are through calculation. And then you get less out of it being hesitating. And say, oh, wait a minute. God already set the coordinates. Don't worry about it. You guys are already picked up. Right now, you're in the surfacing system, waiting for delegation. You're waiting for signals. You're waiting for stealth modes. You're waiting for acceleration, mocking location positions. DNA strands to position of scanning position level system. Before you go through the galactic cruiser, okay, it's like being on a ship, in a humongous, I was on a cruiser. It was the Carnival. And 6 days, 7 nights. It was nice with my family. It was really nice. Went to Barbados, San Juan, St. Martinique. It was great to go through ports, right? And you get between 6 to 7 or 8 hours, right? The one thing I don't like about it is that it's on a itinerary, right? And if you miss that boat, right? If you don't get on that boat, you're gone, right? So basically, I have to call up AT&T. Can you hear me now? Pick me up. So if the boat leaves, what are you going to do, right? I mean, you'll eventually find your way back, but I'm just saying it's very important that everything on a cruise has an itinerary, right? You go off the lands and basically 6, 7, 8 hours, and you have to come back on. Okay, and you hear the last whistle of the boat, right? So if you don't hear that and the boat takes off, what are you going to do? AT&T. So this is turning into a commercial advertisement, isn't it? So just be cautious on those things, right? You know, it's just paying attention if you're in your skills and anything through that connection. All right, so as we come into those formations, so you guys are being picked up right now in the Galactic Cruiser. You guys are sitting in location positions now. And the thing is too, everything that I set up, you go through its alignment and you feel it. Priscilla already knows what's going on through her diagram programs. So it's repositioning her mind through precognition. And the precognition is saying, wow, Commander just set up something. Now I'm understanding. But what does it mean? What do I use? How do I use it? What do I do with it, right? So your intelligence has to know what to do with what you're drawing, okay, or what you're saying, or what you're feeling, or what you're hearing. You have to use your senses for healing, especially when you come into higher rates, you know. The ranking system, the intelligence system, the military operations, the programs, everything through defaults, okay, coming into fragmentation, the lines, into communication, and staying out of the virus system through your computer operations centers, right? Okay, so basically I have set it up. This is the Galactic Cruiser when it comes into the connections of the frontier, all right? So as we get into those positions, this is what it looks like through connection. Okay. Now, as we come into position, the vector unit core is going to pick everybody up through Rendezvous, Tango Tango Charlie, Zulu, Zebra 1. So it's all connected. You guys are feeling the force right now. So you're sitting in the location of the galactic frontiers, and you're sitting in a position where you're seeing everything through space connection. So if you look outside, you can actually see what's going on. You're going to see, you know, going extremely fast. And that's what's amazing. Right? When you're in an airplane, you see everything slow. Right? But when you're in space, you see everything fast. Okay? The faster you go, the more you disappear. Okay, and the more it comes into linear. You have to understand linear. So it goes from here, right? You start here, right? The faster you go, and then you disappear, right? You're mocking speed. So we're in that connection right now through the Galactic Force Energy System. Really powerful stuff. So as we come into those, right, through the Delta Airways, now we're going extremely fast through mocking and anything through acceleration, all right? So as we're in position, the XT1000 will drop you off the location position. I'm going to change the coloration system. Do it like this. Okay, so here's the XT1000. All right, it's dropping you guys off in the center position. Okay, so you guys are dropped off in the center position. Coloration system, change that to location. You guys are in a center core position. Okay, in the Galactic Federation of the Cruiser of the Frontier. All right. Okay, so as you're flying through, traveling, you're going through extremely fast through dimensions of wormholes. And the center core position is changing everything direction. All right, so as we come back into position, the XT1000 goes out of position, okay, goes into out of another equation, right, goes into another wormhole connection, right? Okay, so it's gone over here. It's gone. It'll come back through transformation. But understand your vector unit cores, everything through Zebra 1 is connection to its core system, right? So you guys are back into position to that location. All right. So basically, you're just sitting down right now and enjoying the ride, right? Everything's going extremely fast through positions. So as you're on the frontier, basically, I just want you to understand what a galactic cruiser is, understand what the frontier of a cruiser is, understand your positions, okay, through your identity system, okay, because it's all about someday you guys will command your own ship, fleet your own crew, all right? It's really powerful when you start leading things, okay? So you got to become a leader first within yourself, and then you become a leader without space and time, and then you start using projection, and then we use production maps, and then we use calculation maps, and then we use graphing maps, and everything through connection system, you go through navigation. So your intelligence has to understand its navigation through the aviator, right? Because you're flying in recognition, and basically you don't want to crash your crew, right? You want to keep going on what you're doing. You got to understand your coordinates. You got to understand your levels. or anything through Delta, Elite, Colossus, Universal, anything through that connection, okay? Because it's all about becoming a leader in its right location, to its direction, to its position, to its dimension, okay? So as we're coming into these positions, right, I want you guys to basically, everything through seating positions right now. Now there's a red button that's above, okay? Basically when it goes off and it turns green, everybody gets up and you can walk around, okay? So we got to set the airways. We have to get it reach a certain space level, okay? It's like within an airplane. When it takes off, like that, it has to reach a certain altitude before you can take off your seatbelts, right? Before you get into position. So it's an airwave, right? So it's line signal through A, right? You come into aerospace, right? Planes can only go a certain height. They can't go any higher, right? Because they'll combust. So as they're in space, space is different because the gravity is zero connections, right? So it's like paper flying through the wind. It's going extremely fast. So your positions have to wait until you're in seating position, okay? So the green light's going on, okay? Coming off from the red. So you guys get up and walk around. Take a look at everything that's going on through the Galactic Cruiser, right? So I'm going to leave you with that, right? Really just absorb what you're seeing when you're on the ship, okay? So tell me what you see. Tell me what you experience. It's all about experiencing what's going on, right? And then you start saying, wow, I'm going to be leading a ship soon. This is amazing. This is incredible. Because when you're in the spiritual system, you're in full altitude systems, okay, through Delta Airwaves or anything through the Elite or anything through the Colossus or anything through Universal quadrants. Okay, so get familiar with space. Get familiar with your ship. Get the ground formations to connections. You want to get into formation of your powers. You want to understand how to lead yourself first before you can lead a team, right? Because there's always a commander on every ship, right? So it's very important that we understand our levels, okay, and where we are through position of space and time through its coordinates or anything through its Delta airwaves, okay? So Tina, Priscilla, how's it going? Want to know me? Omar, yeah, Galactica. How's everybody doing so far? I know you guys are coming more into your attractions and dream set location positions, coming into more of your program settings, eh? It's resurfacing more and more. Once you get into positions of who you are, then you can understand, okay, what I'm seeing, how do I use this for healing? Okay, because you're coming out of traction and you're coming into higher connections to your program setting and say, okay, I'm in position now, Commander, what do I do? Right? It says, well, I'm interforcing through interstellar mode. Okay, so you have to understand interforcing through interstellar mode. What does that mean? Okay, so you have to understand everything through surfing. You have to understand everything through travel. You have to understand everything through clocking. You have to understand everything through light activation because it's all combined in one. Your centralized system is always in the presence. Okay, every single time. Okay, so when you're in the presence, this is where you come into the future. Okay, if you use delegations or anything through simulation patterns or going to the major core positions, you're recentering positions and you're off-centering everything to the location of the atmospheres. So you got to make sure that you're a leader of command of yourself first, and then you can start leading things in space through its coordinates and its right position to its right location. Because you have to understand when you have a land speeder or anything that communication or anything through a spacecraft or anything that UFO, you have to understand it's going into position to a planet. Okay, and then it's docking. Okay, and then you get off and you walk, right? And then you have to understand what you're doing. Okay, so it's all repetitive. It's always the same thing, but you're doing different missions when it comes into your program settings. It's important to know these things, you know, especially when you're going into the forcing connections of yourself, right? Understand your focus and awareness, your consciousness. This is where you really have to understand your program setting of your conscious levels because you understand your interstellar modes with interfacing, interlocking. Okay, what's interfacing? What's interlocking? Interfacing is going into connection with what you're facing with. Interlocking is everything through standing position. It's on a standby. Okay, so standby is, so the X3000 comes in and it stays there, right? So it's on standby. It's interlocking connection, right? So it's waiting for its command. It's waiting for what's going to happen next. You have the command of what you want it to do, right? So it has to understand its program setting, has to understand its scanning recognition, has to understand its crop circle, has to understand its ground formation, has to understand its powers, has to understand its atmospheres, has to understand its galaxies, or anything through that connection system, right? Your positions are everything through calculation, right? So it's really understanding how to get into the leading system of you, right? So you can protect your lights more, okay? Especially when you go through your dreams when you're sleeping, okay? Because they're dream sets, not dreams, okay? So the dream set is in position, and you're seeing everything through communication. So it's all about understanding, oh, I see light interference and I see dark interference. If something approaches you, you have to understand how to communicate with it. You can't ignore it because it's in your fields. It's in your fields, okay? So if it's in your fields, you got to know how to get it out of your field, okay? So that's where you use anything through docking locations in documents or anything through angels, archangels. They're there to help you and guide you, okay? Or you can do it yourself, but you have to understand your programs, and you have to have your confidence, okay? And you have to be confident in what you're doing, and you have to have your power. You have to have your control, and you have to have command, right? Command is the biggest thing when it comes into space, okay? If you're not commanding your centers, there's a problem, okay? So that's where the dark entity force comes in and takes over your E fields. They take over your E fields. Now they're inside. Okay. So neutral, battle, neutral, battle, neutral, battle. Once they go in the battle zone, then they can take over your E fields. Then they can take over your programs, and then they can reset your position of dream set positions. Okay. So it's important when you're sleeping to really understand your deciphering dream. Remember, I was talking about this, how you put the pieces together and then you understand what this is. Well, it's the same thing with your dream. Oh, I'm communicating with an avian. Oh, I'm communicating with a Tao. Oh, I'm communicating with a reptile. Oh, I'm communicating with a reptilian. Okay. Oh, I'm communicating with Andromeda. Okay. So when you understand who you're communicating with, that puts you in the leading force. They understand you more through position of space and time, through connection. Okay. So when you're traveling, right? You're in position, the physical system stays still. Maybe this will help you out. What thing that doesn't leave? You, right? That's the center. The only thing that leaves is the mind system. It calculates and modifies everything through programs. It sets coordinates to anything through IC1000 positions. It sets up crop circles with any that connection. Okay? So understanding your positions and where you are through the altitudes or anything through atmospheres or anything through aviations or anything that connection, you're getting into the leading force of yourself through its command. Okay. So anyway, it's a lot to learn when you go into higher intelligence of programs. Okay. So we're in this position. Okay. XT1000 is gone. I'm going to erase it out through the position because it's not there anymore. Surfacing out. No longer in position. All right, so it's travel, right? It's gone. So when it's gone, everything disappears. It has to, right? Because if it doesn't, it means it's still in its presence. And the thing is, too, space has a past, present, and future. If you have an XT1000, it's still lingering in space. It doesn't understand its program setting. It's not going to change its position until you understand your information through your program setting. So everything has to disappear. Now, you see a lot of drawings where they don't disappear is because I'm doing everything in the presence, which is delegated through its past, right? So you have to erase everything because if you don't see yourself in the future, right? So everything that I draw, okay, and if you see a dimension that's still there, that means it's still in its presence. I'm still drawing through its connection, right? So you have to understand your program settings of your alignments, past, present, and future when you're drawing things out. Because you have to look at the reality, right? Or everything to that position. Okay. It's really, really, really important to understand these things, guys. Okay. Because when you're in the future, everything changes. You're changing the presence of its past to positions to anything through your calculation. All right, because it resets positions to all levels of its connection. So How's everybody platitude right now through connection? All right, I'm changing the coloration system right now. So you're going to see the waving cycle of the triangle change its division. Right, so when you're traveling farther into future, right? You're maching through location, you're going extremely fast through position, you're looking outside the window, and you're seeing everything through formation. Okay, so interstellar mode is going past the speed of light in Mach. Yeah. Travel, yep. Changing history, Earth past, yep. Well, yeah, you'll go past the Earth, you go past everything, but you're going past planetary, solar system, solarium, everything through acceleration. You guys are going through at extremely fast speed. So the faster you go, the more you change everything through its force, the more you change everything through its presence, the more you change everything through its past. The faster you go, the more you disappear. So this is why I want to put you on the galactic cruiser. Okay, so you can actually see how fast you guys can go through acceleration. It's a big ship, but that doesn't matter. Size or weight doesn't matter. It's focus and what you're doing through its commanding of its leader, right? So I'm commanding everything that's going on through the MIs, which is you guys, right? So it's understanding how to use the right coordinates to get where you need to go, okay? Now, in proficiency, you don't need to know your connections to that because you don't have to travel to a planet. You can just travel through airways of Delta. Delta Airways is open space, okay? So you have to understand your modifications through your identification because the universal system has a code, right? So you have to understand the dimensions, you have to understand the portals, you have to understand the codes, you have to understand the matrix of codes because you can get lost in wind cycles, you can get lost in dimensional wormholes, you can get lost in matrix cube location positions, you can get lock and key through ground formations. There's a ground formation in space. It's a gravity through gravenites. Gravenite is a location when it comes to magnetic force, okay? So it's kind of like going down into quicksand, okay? And you can't get out of quicksand. So the more you try to push up, the more it's taking you in, right? So every time you push up, it's pulling you in, okay? So that's a gravitational pull of space. So space changes its direction per second, per second, per second. The allocated situation systems, the faster you go through traveling, you're seeing more through positions. So you're going to see more archetypes going through connections, right? So you're seeing archetypes going like this. Okay? Spinning in location, right? So you're seeing energy, light, location, positions. Okay, in the atmosphere systems, to position. Okay. Right? Now, everything through creation is really, really powerful stuff because we come into formations of connection. All right? As you come into those directions. Lock and key to that location position here. All right, so when we come out of that, right, we have to change location position. That's reposting. Reposting is understanding the weather is changing through the universe. The faster you go, the direction you have to change. So it's like turning a corner. It's like going so fast and then I got to change left or I got to go right or you can't go straight. Okay, does anybody know why you can't go straight? Does anybody know why you can't go straight? Why you have to turn? It's a tricky question. It's not a hypothetical question. It's just truly understanding coordinates of universe because it changes per second when it comes to, like, look at the magnetic force in highway. It's going extremely fast, right? So when you're going through answering patterns through your thought recognition system, it's changing your location position through your body frame and your heat signature patterns, okay? So the faster you go, the colorations spin faster and faster through acceleration, through vibration, through operation, okay? So basically, we have to go left or we have to go right. We can't go straight because we'll disappear. If we disappear, there's a problem. Why? Because you guys are not in that position of the simulation through its program setting. That's going to fry your mind collaboration centers. So we don't want to do that, right? So I'm putting you in a coordinate where basically you're going through a wormhole. So it's kind of looking like this. So we're in that position, right? Now, this is really fun stuff. When we come out, we're coming into another dimension wormhole. Okay. The coloration system, remember, dimensional system has its coordinates. It has its tones, it has its frequencies, it has its coloration, has its lights, has its beams, it has its oxygen levels, it has its atmospheres. It changes weather location through galaxy location positions. So you understand when you look outside the atmosphere, you can see the wind change. You can see the vibration, you can see the coloration. And that's why you guys are 70 levels now, okay, when it comes in the atmospheres and the 4 seasons, right? So as we're coming into the formants, all connection system through your delta airwaves and its connection system, the dimensional realm is in position right now through calculation. It's going like this, okay? Now you guys are going in through security line defense through location position, okay? Now, basically, the galactic force connection system, the allocated position right now, right? So the dimensional system is bringing everybody in through calculation, all right? Okay, so that's what's happening right now. So we're going through a dimensional wormhole. Okay, that's us. See how it's going in dimension? So as it's going in dimension, it's going into security line defense and it's changed coloration system. This is where you change colors and dimensions of portals and anything activation of codes. So it resets its position, changes coloration. It's not purple, it's red, right? Because we're changing course. So when you're in the atmosphere, it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to make a left turn with my car. Oh, I'm going to make a right turn. I can't go straight. Why? Because it's a dead end. Think of it that way. Okay. You can't go straight because it's a dead end. There's a stop sign. So it's detour, right? So you go left or you go right. Or you look at a one-way street. You can't go down a one-way street because the cars are facing the other way, right? So you got to reset, reposition, repost, change around, okay, and find an arrow that goes straight. So it's the same thing, except it's in space. With space, you're going through wormholes, which is really fascinating. So you guys are going through mocking locations of wormholes right now through connections, right? So it's spin cycling right now through connection, right? So basically, it's going through its waving cycle like this, guys. Woo! Okay? And it's spinning on location. So it just separates everything. You okay, so that's what happens when you go extremely fast. So it's repositioning, reposting, and everything through the galactic cruiser is now in positions of a new changing location position to coordinate division. All right. So as it comes out, we have to come out in another location. So it comes into another dimension. Remember, when you see yourself, when you're in calculation, okay, you have dimensions, right? So it's kind of like you're going. So if it wants to recourse, it's going to go, right? It's going to go like this, and you're going to go like this, right? So the only thing that moves, okay, is the dimensions. You stay still. That's always understanding that when you're in space, you're always in the center. You don't move. It's the dimensions that move. So you understand the simulation graph. You understand the simulation promo. You understand the simulation activation. So when you're going through the simulation, you're going through but point center, which is always still. Okay, you're in stillness in space. The only thing that moves is dimensions. So you're going. So it looks like you're doing this, but it's not. It's the dimensions that are moving you. Okay, right? So when you're on a bike, a motorbike, and you're going vroom, 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 really fast, right? You have to go with the turn, right? You have to go with the motion, right? You have to go with the ocean, right? It's the flow. Everything flows in space, right? So the only thing that moves is the background. So the dimensions are going, right? And it's going. Okay, I'm doing all this because you have to activate it, right? So I'm activating the cycle rotations through the dimensional portal activations and putting you guys into the galactic force through the Delta airways, right? So everything I do, I use my voicing grids, okay, to set courses to your digital framings through calculation, right? So as we come into those positions, we're gonna reset course in every division of the system. I want you guys to understand everything when it comes into repost, redivision, recalculate, and realign. So it's complicated when you guys don't understand dimensions of portals. You can change coloration system, come into another allocated position, like here, right? So it's here, and you come out, right? And then you set reposition through calculation. Now, when you come into positions, your coloration changes everything through direction positions. Okay, so as we come out, we're coming into this position, cross-referencing everything through location. Okay. So you're here, right? Reposition, relocate, right? Now you're here, right? It's really complicated because when in space, you have to understand the weather. You have to understand the universal weather. You have to understand the coordinates of weather. Okay. You have to understand the activations of weather. You have to understand the grounds of weather, because everything is controlled through the gravity system of the Earth rotation. Okay, which is space. And everything is connected through the magnetic force and highway of its information. Right? So you got the synchronizing systems that come on down through location, electronic interference. Okay, and then you get the ground formations coming up, right, through triangular divisional system. Everything points divides to the location position, right? Now everything is connected through dimension of the center core position. This puts you in a higher position level through connection of traveling. And then you get the magnetic force and highway from the center core position of universal core system. Remember, it looks like an hourglass. Okay. So everything is center of position, and the grounds and everything through, okay, the magnetic force and highway of space, right? Everything sets in position into the center core position. Okay. So the simulation goes on so many coordinate levels of codes. It separates everything through dimensions. So when you're traveling, remember, it's the dimensions that are moving you, and you're still in position. So knowing that your physical system never leaves, okay? It stays in position. It has to, because it's its base. And the thing is, the intelligence needs a host to mutate, okay? You see that in scientific movies, right? Where sometimes in 84 systems, they need a host, right? They need to live in a physical system, okay? So they can teleport, so they can transmit and receive information, okay? So, all right, so it's fascinating when we come into those positions, but I wanted to show you through the gravity powers and everything through the magnetic force and highway, how everything is controlled through its information. It's a magnetic highway, that's all it is, right? So it's all about reprogramming you through dimensions of wormholes, because it starts off with anything through vortex. So basically, this is really interesting stuff. Okay, so that's a wormhole, okay? Now, when you come across yourself through connection, remember, you guys are still traveling in the ship, so I'm going to take you out soon because we're coming into a radiation heat light, and it's connecting through shapes and anomalies, and we have dark and 84 systems that are coming in through calculation. So you understand repositions of space and time through position, because when you go to higher levels and you're reaching their radars and you go past their positions, that's where they're going to take over you, track you, locate you, and put you into their compound and their detention, because you're crossing over. You're going into the radar of space. It's the same thing when you take an airplane. I've said that before. If you're going across one country to another country, you're going to get to military operations saying, hey, identify yourself. All right. Everything is identified when it comes to space. Everything is identified when you come to the physical system. Anything through military. Okay. Anything federal or anything through NASA. Right. All right. So as we're coming into that, now it's further understanding through communication. I'm going to take you guys out right now because the positions through darkening forces are connecting that location position. So as we come into those levels, this is you through traction location. Okay. And you're walking into a wormhole connection. Okay, that's you walking into the wormhole. Now the wormhole is going to read your information system, top to bottom, like this. Okay, it's reading your information system. It allocates its position, changes its coloration system because you're green. You're green, right? So it's understanding your communication through your heat waves and your signatures. Remember the binary codes, okay, the receptacle levels, 3 pixel activation. It's reading your plasmas, guys, right? So as it's coming into this plasma, it's connecting through the mind brains, everything through the power centers, and everything through its connection of force winding cycles, okay? It activates your light signal through gamma operation systems, electro rods, everything through connection, opens up your energy field through its position. All right. Now, when you're in that position, you automatically go into the dimension. Your particle system separates its position, and you become nothing but fractal location positions. And this is where you have to understand that your body changes through the particle system. Okay, so this is what happens when you go through vortex right away. This is what happens when you go through dimensions. You can't have your physical system go in space. Your spiritual system is connected through its atom location. Okay, you see that? You go from here to here into the wormhole, right? And then the wormhole takes you in. And you go into the hole of the wormhole. Powerful, isn't it? That's what happens when you travel. So it's really powerful when you go through realms. So what happens, it changes its position, understands your coloration through pixel activation, and understands your E-fields. The plasma force energy system is open through calculation, and it puts you into higher calculation system, okay? So when it's in the high calculation system, your allocated positions goes into higher connection position, right? You're still in a particle system, but you're separating in the Gaussian location positions. Okay, so that's when you go into here to here, here, into the realm, into the wormhole, and then you go into higher position, take it out of its equation. All right, so when you go into security line defense, you have to understand security because it's protecting your lights. How many realms are you going to go through, right? So it's in position. This is just you traveling through vortex. All right, it's very powerful, isn't it? Down the rabbit hole, yeah, Alice in Wonderland, yeah. All right, so I'm going to take you out, okay, because I got dark energy force systems. The dials are coming in. All right, so basically, as we're in position, okay, change the light signals, back freeze all location position, take them out of calculation, the vector unit core, echo Ziller 1, put them on the gravitational pull of the Earth rotation of fifth dimensional system back into position. Triangular division level system, unit core, yep. 1-9er, Ziller 1, yeah. The Galactic Cruiser, yeah. Yep, take the MIs out through position level system. Okay, those positions. All right, here we go. All right, circle rotation centers into position. Take it out as equation. Watch this. 1, 2, 3. You guys are out of position, back in the Earth rotation of 5-dimensional system. All right. So, is that fun or what? So it's really powerful when we come into these levels, guys. All right, really understanding. I'm a leader of me. I not only understand my human essence, but I understand my spiritual essence. Okay? Because it propagandas everything through calculation when you come into integration cycles, integration systems, integration of energy. Okay? So get into your E equals MC square. Now this goes out to new viewers, right? Because people ask me all the time, what does E equals MC square? And you have to understand why Einstein was here, why he came up with this theory of relativity. Okay, why was Tesla here? What is 3, 6, and 9, right? So when we come into those positions, you come into calculation, anything after 3, 6, and 9, you become nothing but a particle system through a wormhole. Isn't that powerful? Look at how powerful that is. Look what happens. It's amazing how you go from here to here to here, all connected through its realm, and then you high rise through security line defense. So that's you right here to a higher position. A space anomaly, 2-time codes, right? Yeah, because I get it all in my system every time through the spine, right? The spine has its receptor and it has its light signals. So it operates in so many levels through the body framing system, right? It calculates and modifies and integrates everything through its cycle rotation. All right. So basically, as you get into positions, you understand more of the calculations. So you can get a wind graph. Okay, see, if you look up really close, you can see the boxes, right? You understand white graph, you understand low graph, medium graph, high graph, when you get into those positions, right? So it's truly understanding vortex, right, through acceleration, mocking location positions. Okay, so if you're setting up coordinates, now let's get into positions right now through calculation, right? Let's get into 3, 6, and 9. Okay. Now this is what Tesla came up with. The problem is that nobody knows how to travel through 3, 6, and 9. What is 3, 6, and 9? Well, let's put it all together. So we got 3, we got 6, and we got 9. Okay, 3, 6, and 9. See how it travels? That's just traveling. Okay, that's not vortexing. That's just traveling to a higher position of a program setting. Remember how I was saying 1 plus 1 equals 3? 1 plus 1 equals a million, and 1 plus 1 equals a zillion, trillion, quadrillion, right? Quintillion. Well, truly understanding everything is a number until you know everything through its code, and then you become everything of not a number. Okay, that's everything through formation. So we have to get out of the code frequencies, get into the simulation, disappear, and then we're everything through number, which becomes everything through the simulation. So you become no number. That's 0 point. That's zero gravity, guys. Okay. So it's extremely fast through anything through space and time, or anything through its anomalies. So understanding the positions, we understand the point centers of the clockings of 12 to 12, right? It sets positions. Okay. You understand the circle rotation. Oh, that's me in the center. Wow, that's cool. And that's the understanding of E equals MC square. See how I did that in the center? You see that? You're in the center. You're always, always, always in the center. Okay? So understanding your E, energy, understanding understanding everything through the equal sign, the parallel, the paradox, the polar shift. That's a separation, right? You have to understand the 2 line signals, why they're separated. So when you come into the calculation, I'll show you that through modification, guys. It's really powerful. We come into these levels. As we come into these levels, we got into the alien map location. This is understanding weather interference. Okay. Now, it's complicated stuff if you don't understand traction positions of location positions, right? So, when you get into these higher levels of alien formation system, the allocated system will open up all your channel operation centers through calculation, right? And it'll put you in a higher position through calculation, mocking location positions. Okay. What is that? What does that mean? What does this all mean? These are alien information of maps. These are coordinates to space. These are direction to planet positions to its intelligence. But you have to know how to get there, right? So truly understanding when you're coming into positions, everything travels through its location, of its quadrants and its levels through its vector core system. So if you get a planet location like this, okay, and you get a vector unit core through its quadrant level system, everything allocates everything through center position, right? Everything goes through your pyramid system, okay? Now you activate through its center, through its point system, okay? Your spaceship takes off through position, comes up to a higher level through connection, right? There's so many ways you can travel through position, guys, right? So that's you. Now you're higher. Right? So this is all about understanding, getting into practical levels, how to travel through vortex. So basically, you're in position. When you use your voice and grid patterns, okay, you're going from here to here, right? So what did I do? What did I do to change? What did I do to accelerate? What did I do to change the energy? What did I do to change the coloration? What did I do to change the pixel? What did I do to change the E fields? What did I do to change the perception? What did I do to change the codes? What did I do to see more higher intelligence? What did I do to change my dream sets? Okay. Yeah, it's exactly, that's what it is, Priscilla. It's all about the weather, right? So this is your spaceship, this is your grounds, but you always stay in center. The only thing that travels is everything that is creation in the mind system. That's why you never see anything that comes out of the position, right? So this is understanding this is you through position, right? But if you want to take it out of its equation, okay, you're going through a different reading, you're going through an upgrading system, and you're going through a different dimension of a realm location. Okay? But you're still in position of center. You're just reading higher information through program setting. Okay? So it's important that you understand when it comes to alien formation systems, some applications, anything through positions, of anything through weather, through shapes anomalies. Okay? What does this all mean? All right? Now, I'll tell you exactly what it all means. Now, I've done this before. Understanding what is this? Okay? These are all lines. Okay? This is a shape. These are lines. You have to understand everything through direction, north, west, south, and east through traveling location positions, right? So basically, you have 3 waving line systems, 3 allocated position, right? Space anomaly to its direction. Okay, you got a bending graph location line system to a point center of an override line communication through a realm system. Okay, you got a snake line location. You can say anything direction because it looks like a snake, right? As long as you get in position to the right coordinates, you're traveling in the right position through traveling to its position of its location, to its direction, to its dimension of its intelligence, to its planet location position. All right. So you got a back location line, okay, through circle rotation, line communication through center point, XT1000 location position through a snake line, right? You got a box frequency level through circle rotation, cross reference through a circle of its connection line system. Okay, you got a point center, a back phrasing 7 to location position, center core system level system to a point center of a 1 division. Okay, all right, so you got a back force connection, you got a S location system, triangle division level system to allocated through line division of point center. That's what all this is through representation, space and time through its anomalies. Okay, so it's amazing when we come into traction positions, guys. This is all connected through your 3, 6, and 9. Your 3, 6, and 9 is your pyramid. After it becomes your pyramid, then you understand it becomes its spaceship. But you have to have the pyramid and you have to have the diamond core because that's the spaceship. Okay, that's your activation light. That's how you transmit and receive. You can't live with one without the other. It's kind of like you can't live without the mind, you can't live without the body, and you can't live without the soul. The mind, the body, and soul have to be one. If the mind is separated and the body is separated and the soul is separated, that's the problem. If the mind is connected and the body is connected and the soul is connected, there you go. You solve the problem. So the pyramid and everything through the diamond core has to be in position of it traveling to a space-like ship location. Now you're transmitting and receiving through space anomalies. So you guys are blown away every time I do a drawing. It's incredible, isn't it? So you guys have to really get into codes now because you're in the 4 atmospheres right now through weather. So anyway, I'm going to go through your questions. Tina, Priscilla, how'd you guys do? What'd you like? Did you like the Frontier or going through the Delta Airways? How was it like being on the Galactic Cruiser? All right, so interstellar mode is going past the speed of light into Mach speed. Yeah. Yeah. When you're in space, never, ever, ever second guess yourself or hesitate. Okay? Because when you come across things, you have to remember you're in the mind system and it's a program and it's extremely real. You're going through a film projection of the presence, guys, into the future. So when your mind is open, it's extremely, extremely real. Even though you're in the physical system, that's the base. That doesn't leave. It's the mind that leads to the open frequency. And now you're seeing everything through the archetypes. Oh, wow, I see a radiation cycle rotation system coming at me. I got to change coordinates. Commander, it doesn't make any sense. What's going on? I'm going to crash. Right? So you have to understand your leading command of yourself first. You have to understand your coordinates. Okay, you have to understand reposition. You have to understand changing course. You have to understand vortex. You have to understand your command. You have to understand your force. Okay, you have to understand your confidence levels. Okay, it's all about control, right? And what you're doing in space, right? It's important. How to set up an operation on Jupiter, how to set up a space station, how do we do those things, right? So we have to get into those calculations because it modifies our integrations, right? Through our intelligence signals. So, all right, so here we go. Changing history, yeah. Still watching you begin videos trying to get the introduction to 101. Plus, I'm bad at visualizing awake. Dreams always black, empty, voidness, nothing, but I'm working on it. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Omar, you got to go to higher position level systems. You go higher, you go through position, you're seeing more through calculation, right? So really, really focus on what you're seeing through perception. Ask my team, they can help you and always informs. But you got to get out of separation of the physical system. You can't close your eyes and see yourself in the physical. You have to close your eyes and see yourself in the dimensional. Okay? So when you close your eyes are open in the dimensional system, and it's seeing everything in space, guys. It's seeing everything through maps. It's seeing everything through alignment. It's seeing everything through intelligence. Okay? Right away. Okay? So that means I have control of my physical system, and I have control with my dimensional system of traveling through coordinates or anything through reset positions to changing positions, right? Changing course, right? It's like driving in a car. Ooh, I'm turning left. Oh, I'm turning right. Oh, I'm going straight. So you know how to control your car, right? The car doesn't control you. You control the car, right? And everything else is easy peasy, right? So you have to really understand space. Space is a little bit different. Okay, different altitude, different atmosphere, different oxygen levels, different coloration, right? Because you're traveling through galaxies, you're traveling through dimensions. You're film projecting your projections of everything that you're seeing. Okay, through your eye receptors of your higher self, your avatar, your computers, your energies, or anything through atom. Once you get in the atom, then you understand your separation particle system. It's extremely powerful. Because when you understand vortex, this is exactly what happens when you travel through positions. And your drawings become more powerful because now you're connecting through space anomaly, right? From here to here to here and then up. That's what happens when you vortex. That's what happens when you go through wormhole. Okay? It's all about communication, right? With the intelligence to its realm. Okay? And it's all important to understand how to reposition and how to go to higher levels of program settings of space and time. Okay? So, but you'll get there, Omar. You just have to go through more practical cycles, like really focus on what you're seeing. Okay? Because if you don't understand your energy, you're not going to see anything but black. So you got to understand your energy, frequency, vibration. Oh, I understand my energy, frequency, vibration now. It's coming into connection. Right? It's coming into connection. Right? It's coming into connection. 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 Right? So it always does this before it forms. Okay? So Entity Force system is sending programs to you, coming in. Right? It goes to the hydrolysis of the brain waves. And then you get sonar patterns through XT thousands coming in. So it's understanding. And then your eye receptors. You have to understand you're in the future. You have to understand your intelligence in the future. But it's presenting itself in the presence of its physical system. The physical system doesn't leave. It's just the dimensional system of the mind. Okay? And that's where it opens up everything, right? So it's a practical vision of you through observation, right? And then you understand your voicing grid patterns, and then you understand your breathing. Powerful, guys. Powerful. And that was only 50%, right? So the more I want to channel, the more I want to travel, my digital frame of my numbers come into illumination, and it travels so far, it doesn't go this way, it goes up. Okay? So it synchronizes everything in the particle system. It separates your voicing grid patterns, and it comes in. Okay? So you have to understand your tonings. You have to understand your calculation. You understand your modifications. You have to understand your integration. You have to understand your equations. Okay, it's important to understand your E equals mc squared. And this goes out to the new viewers. Okay, so now you know what E equals mc squared. So how do I use that? How do I take the box out to travel? How do I vortex in time? Well, you have to know your alignments of past, present, and future, right? So you can't put yourself in position of the future if you don't understand your presence. You live the presence, right? You're not living the future in the physical system. That's just crazy. You're confusing lines. You're confusing gamma operations. You're confusing everything through wire location. You're confusing everything through your pyramids and your diamond core position or starlights or anything that position of starcraft positions or anything UFO connection. EXE1000s won't read your information system. If you're in the future, if you try to go in the future, if you close your eyes and you're seeing robots, okay, say, wait a minute, Commander, why am I seeing robots? Well, you have to understand that you're in an open frequency. Your mind is open, but your heart is closed. I've said that before. That's where you go into abduction. It's very important you understand that because we get a lot of stories, people are saying, oh, I've been abducted, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's just money, 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 money. That's governments, corporations giving you what they want for you to understand what's going on, but they don't know what's going on. You got the monolith. What is a monolith, right? Right? It's all about the fear. They're trying to put fear into you. They're trying to close you in. Boom, 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 boom. They want to keep you more distracted. But as you know, I don't know if you guys have been knowing this, but I always keep my social networks up to date because I got to know what's going on through light and interference and dark rotation centers and planet location positions. As dark rotations are trying to take humans out through their connection to their planet position, put them into the dark location positions. So when it comes into the vaccines and all that, right, Moderna and everything, the Pfizer, right, it's falling out now. It's retracting. It's going back because people not only are getting sick, but they're getting reactions. Okay, and when they get reaction, what happens? There's fallouts, right? And then it goes back to the distribution. Okay, so everything is happening in time, in position. More they do, the more I do, right? But everything is set position of direction through connection. Everything's set course, okay? So all this has to happen to get into the Gardens of Eden, of its rebellion, okay? It's a long process, but things are getting done, okay? People are dying from these vaccines, right? And they're still trying to cover up. There's a lot of things that they're trying to do, right? So, and again, you can't defy yourself because if you defy yourself, you're defying God. You're defying the galactic. You're defying the universe. You're defying everything through its manifestation, right? And the universal system knows that. It knows exactly what you're doing every single day. It's the eyes of the sky, guys. It has a heartbeat, okay? It's everything through fruition. It's everything through the divine, okay? So it's powerful when we come into these. You know, I like to do these illustrations for you guys. Okay. So truly understanding, this is really, really powerful. If you look at this, you understand your positions. This is what happens when you understand yourself through illustration of a dream set or anything through, if you're awake and you're seeing yourself doing these things, you actually see yourself disappear just for a split second. You actually see yourself disappear. And then you become nothing but a blimp. Not only that, but you actually see the realm in the physical system. It's in the fifth dimensional system, but you go into a high altitude through vibration. So you're actually seeing yourself going through that dimension. You actually see your particle system disappearing into the wormhole. And that's what happens when you get into higher formations of programs to its position of simulation core. Right? So I think it's great when you see these things, right? And my team is understanding more of their calculations through modification. They're understanding more of their integration. They're understanding more of their travels. And now we're getting into position of our missions. Commander, I'm seeing the ferals through rotation. They're trying to understand what's going on with the water containment level system. So they're giving information to you. You have to know what they're doing, okay, so you can help them It's all about your positions of yourself first through the mastering of its human essence, coming into and out of the human essence and coming into the intelligence, right? And then everything through intelligence comes into you, force wind. They become more forward with you. They become more command with you because you know what you're doing. Okay. Let's just say a shape anomaly was off traction location to a planet position and it was changing its vibration through its gravity location. What does that mean? What does it mean? So if you're getting information and you don't understand this, there's a problem. It's going to keep doing this. And this is combustion. This is virus. This is Trojan. This is depletion, right? This is erase. This is obsolete. Okay. So the more you don't understand, the more you're going to go down. Okay. And that's a problem. It's just people have a hard time trying to change themselves. No, they are always in the physical system, but you have to understand how to separate yourself from the physical to get into the dimensional. When you go through my healing, you go through my upgradings of 12. This opens up your 7 and your 12 all together. 7 in the body, 5 within the atmosphere. So you're finally realizing what's going on. You're awakening through its connection of its dream. Okay? Because the reality that you've been living is its dream. But when you wake up, you're living the real reality. Okay? And then you understand the controlling systems governs corporations and the media and the enforcing. So, but that's, Omar, you have to really understand your positions of your physical system and erase everything. You have to erase your human essence and get into the intelligence. Okay? Because you know you're human. So if you erase your program, okay, of your physical system that you lived in the three-dimensional system, okay, you're understanding more of your alignment. And then your intelligence comes in. Okay, so here's the physical, right? You're living this. You're living this. Da 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 da. 5-7 days a week, doing what you want. You're Bob, right? Experiencing Bob. Okay. All of a sudden, intelligence comes in. Okay. So it's sending out energy to you, right? And you're going, whoa, what's that? Right? Keeps doing it. Right? You keep doing it. Keep scratching your head. Whoa, it's itchy. What does that mean? Right? And then you get rotation spins. Right? Right? Oh, I got a headache. What's going on? You have to understand what the intelligence is trying to do. It's trying to wake you up. Okay, from the very beginning. So when you wake up, everything comes in, right? From here to here to here. Okay? So it's truly understanding your physical system, getting out of that and getting into the dimensional system. Once you get into the dimensional system, you close your eyes, right? And you see everything through space, right? Because you have control of your physical system now. Okay? So your physical system is its satellite. It stays on the ground. That doesn't move. You stay. Okay? The intelligence needs a host. It needs mutation. It needs metamorphosing. It needs acceleration. It needs radiation. It needs light. And it needs activation. Okay? So it has to be inside our bodies. So you have that balance with the physical system of traveling and the dimensional system of traveling. You come into the center, it activates, right? The circle rotation of your chakra formation systems. You understand communication in your voice grid patterns, how you communicate with anything through wires. I know how to communicate all wire locations. That's 650 applications of space connection to its anomalies through attractions of its DNA patterns. Because all humanity is connected through wires, electricity, energy, frequency, vibration, and everything harmonic resistance. So once you understand how to communicate with a wire of yourself, that is powerful alone through electricity. Then you start reading electricities. Everything is going off. It's trying to communicate with you, right? And then sending out sound waves. Okay, same with your phone, right? Send out you understand what's going on with space and how they're trying to get communication with you. 3 digital pads through your computers or anything through your phone. Your phone is a kinetic energy wave, right? So when you're doing a video with Linda and Sarah, basically they were seeing each other, and Sarah was sending out energy waves. It was going like this. Ooh. 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 Right? So you have to understand your intelligence through its voicing grid patterns. That's why we have the voice. But it's truly understanding your chakra system of coloration. Oh, I'm activating the grounds right now. So you go higher, right? The balance of its anything through its power center, when it comes into its placebo, or anything through its cortex, or anything through its cranial, is truly understanding the spine location, right? Because it sets positions, right? And then it goes, that's what happens. And then it takes off, right? So that's what happens with a spaceship. You got to know the sound barriers of spaceships and where they're connected through. Are they going down? Are they going up? Are they going across? Which way are they going, right? So you got balance with the physical system, and you got balance with the intelligence system. Now you got to get balance with space and time system of traveling. All right. So that's why I wanted to put everybody on the galactic cruiser of the frontier of the Delta Airwaves. Okay. All right. So let's get into your questions. It's like moving, swimming in tar. That's like water. Yep. The quantum field is like water when we move. It moves a field like in water. Very good, Priscilla. So you're understanding that. So you have to understand, if you understand the water of its movement, you have to understand how to reset, reposition, and change course, right? You can't keep going straight. You got to change, right? Because you have to go to a certain location. I can't put you in a certain position to a dark location position. And then we come into radar, right? And then you see intelligence come in, right? And then they start firing, right? And then we have to go run away, right? That's extremely real. It's extremely real in the mind system because it'll affect our body completely through vibration, right? So it's overloading your projections of your animation through your dream sets and everything through your TV reception positions, right? So it's kind of like watching cartoons. Your animations are basically, you got the dark E4 systems. After you pass through atmosphere, they come into radar, right? Identify yourself, please, right? And if you keep going and you keep passing, they're going to go, don't proceed, wait. They scan you, right? And then use a magnetic force and they try to wheel you in. So it's a tractor beam, like Star Wars. It brings it in, right? Because now you're not identifying yourself. So they're going to wheel you in. They're going to take your spacecraft and put you into their spacecraft position or their planet location. Anything through a planet has a magnetic force, right? So it's going to take you in, right? So you have to be very cautious how real space is, because now you're living the civilization, but you're still in the physical system, right? So it's powerful when we come into those. I can see the opening. I want to know what you guys see through perception, right? Starseed. Galactica. Exactly like the model you showed us yesterday through the avian core realm. Yep. Overriding the system cores, decentralizing and settling through heart, mind, diamond core program setting. Very good, Priscilla. Priscilla, you sound hot on fire. Please tell me if I'm correct in the perspective computing system of explanation. Yep. Everything that you're doing is a program setting. Your intelligence is truly understanding. Once you understand your programs, you have to understand what to do next. So your intelligence has to understand how to use your program setting for healing. Okay, so if you're getting perceptive or anything through computing operation system, okay, Commander, I've got to set core system to a computer operation system to China position level system. I have to change the gravity location position. Is this right? Can I get a confirmation? Right? So your commander will come into you and tell you exactly what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Now, there is a right and wrong when it comes into program. Okay. You have to understand that because you guys go into higher levels. You're coming into higher defense. You're coming into higher security. You're coming into the Dows, the Greys, the Trogs, the Reptoids, the Avians, okay, the Sapiens, and everything, the Sarians. Okay. Everybody's in position of coordinates to a map location position. Right. So you have to send their intelligence through their programs. And everything is done through scanning. You got to scan them first. Right? So if you're in position, you come up. And here you come up, right? This is you in position coming up. You're in space. Right? You're flying around. It's all energy, right? And then you get another intelligence coming in, right? Identify yourself, right? Then you have to put your E fields up, or you're going to go past. If you go past, right, it's going to revert and follow you, right? It's extremely real when you're in space. It's like a movie, guys. It's so real. So that's why you can't go through provisions or anything through restriction zones. You have to know what you're doing when you're traveling, right? So that's why I wanted to show you guys when you go through dimensions and wormholes, this is what you come across. You're always going to be coming across light and dark interference, and you have to scan these before they come into shapes, right? But you have to scan your positions first, right? So if you scan your position, right, intelligence comes in, identify yourself, right? Vector unit core system, synchronized line system, seeing planet location to positions to avion location position. Proceed. See what had just happened there? He left, right? So you got partnership for that ND4 system on the dark rotation. Exciting. I love doing these illustrations, but I also like using my hands. I like, because I'm an actor, right? I play it out, and playing out is like acting. It's like a theater play. You know, it's amazing when you do these things, right? But I wanted to show you what you can do with your hands, because when you're in space, it's kind of like being in deep waters for the very first time. Okay, first you swim in a pool and you become master of the pool, but then when you go to another country and you swim in their ocean, right? You're on their waters, you're on their grounds, you're on their atmosphere, you're on their country, right? So you're trying to get used to what's going on, right? You don't know what's below the waters. Okay. So you have to protect yourself, right? It's pretty scary when you don't know what's beneath you or above you, especially when you're traveling. Soon as you travel, everything becomes real. Everything is identified as being real. And you always have to identify yourself, especially when you're going into restriction zones. Okay? Because if it happens and you guys go into wrong positions of restricted zones by accident, they're going to come to me. And then I got to take you out of their planet. Okay? So they say, oh, I did something bad. Now I'm in jail. Well, that's what it is. Okay? So, and then you call me up, right? Because you get a call, right? Call your lawyer, call your best friend, right? You have one phone call to make. Okay? Yeah, Commander, can you pick me up? I'm in jail right now. I'm with the Greys right now, and you know. So, to really understand how real it is, when you go to higher levels of program settings, it becomes nothing but a movie projection through an animation through a TV reception of a satellite division, right? Because everything is digital in the atmosphere system, right? I'm putting my hand formation out to the atmosphere system. I'm connecting to all planet locations of positions. They know I'm here in position. They know I'm a light formation through a God frequency level connection, but I'm everything through formation. So I understand their program settings just from my hand formations. Okay. So I do this before I travel. Okay. That's where it gets really confusing because you guys don't know where the planet locations are through map location positions. If you're traveling through a position, you're going to extremely high rise and you come across tracheos, right? You have to understand what they're doing in position. Okay, why are you here? Right? Oh, I'm just traveling. I'm just having a fun time. I'm just looking around. You can't be here. Right? And then it'll say, identify yourself, please. Right? So if you don't understand yourself through intelligence, there's a problem. So what's going to happen is if you're in this position, you come across the Dracheos through map location position, Okay, he's going to set up coordinates, right? Right, and then he's going to get a higher other communications of Draco's coming in. And you're in the center and you got 4 or 5 Draco's, right? What are you going to do? You're going to run? Doesn't matter. They're going to go after you, right? And then they're going to block you in like a chess play, right? It's like, we got you. Come with us, please. Right? That's how real it is when you understand intelligence. Then you get into the voicing grids. Then you get into the languages. Okay? I know 600,000 now. I went 500,000. Now I know 600,000 languages. So I know their moves. I know what they're doing 3 or 4 steps ahead of time, guys. It's not just traveling into space. It's understanding their restricted zones they have through proactive systems. You have to understand your program settings through your intelligence. Right? And then it becomes nothing but an animation of digital frame of simulation. Okay? Let's just say you get into cloud interference and you get caught through its winds, right? You're flying in position. This is where it becomes extremely real. You don't have to be asleep. You can be awake. If you're awake, you're seeing more of everything through your divine. So you're flying, right? You're just flying around through energy, right? And all of a sudden you come across a cloud. A cloud is coming in. Right? And it sees you. Remember, everything's intelligence, right? Now what's going to happen when you go through, right? It's going to understand, okay, what's going on? What are you doing, right? So it's going to use its scanning position. It's going to scan you. A cloud can scan you. And this is where it comes into the fallen angels. Okay? Fallen angels come in at night. They don't come in during the day. Angels and archangels come in the day. That's the realm connections through the golden cycle rotations of cloud interference. Everything through night is fallen angels. If you see a dark rotation of a cloud, that's a fallen angel. You put your hand formation up there, you got to be cautious. You have to be cautious because if you don't, they can take over your program setting. And now you have a fallen angel inside your body activation system. So in your position, you got a light surfacing system. It's going to scan you. Right? It's understanding voice grid patterns of a cloud, right? And then there's electrolytes. Right? And then it understands who you are. And then you can proceed. Right? So you have to understand intelligence. Everything formulates around you through its intelligence, and that's where it's always centered. But you always, always have to identify yourself, especially when you're going into restricted zones. And that's what the problem is that when you guys go to sleep and you understand, okay, what am I seeing this? This is dark shadow. Oh, what am I seeing? This looks really not good. What do I do? How do I get out of this? Right? You have to do more communication. You have to control your dream set position of yourself. That's how you take it out of its equation. Okay, so always, always identify yourself when you're sleeping or when you're going through things. Like all of a sudden you go through a vortex cloud. What's a vortex cloud? Well, it's an interception through an orb. Okay, it's like an orb division, but it's a cloud. It's a plasma. It's a different plasma. So you have to understand the plasma. You have to understand the energy. You have to understand the intelligence. You have to understand the dimension. You have to understand the portal. You have to understand the code. And you have to understand what its relation to you through calculation. So intelligence is coming at you every single day, right? So truly understanding what's going on. And that's why I like to do these things. I like to act it out to show you how powerful it is when you're in a civilization of space and time. Okay? So it's trying to get understanding the research. You're at a library and you're looking at books. Oh, I'm reading this, I'm reading this, reading this, reading this. But once you're in the space, you have to understand the psychological system of you through intelligence. So you have an archetype division coming in, the low crosswind signal. What's going on? Why is he in that position? Don't say why. That's hesitation. Because they know you, right? So if they hear your voice, they're going to come at you. What? Right? And then you're going to have to know what's going on. It's right in front of me, right? And it's going to go. Okay, so you have to be cautious on your voice. You got to be cautious on your thought recognitions because you're going to see light skies. You're going to see parameters. You're going to see security line defense coming at you, right? Because we're coming into higher vibration. The higher we come through vibration, the more we come into space atmosphere. Okay, so it's kind of like this. It's kind of like being above water and then being underwater. Okay, and that's what's happening right now with the Earth rotation. Okay, it's really powerful when you see these things. All right, so I'll draw it out through direction. All right, so basically, what it is that, let's just say, okay, so there's the line. Now, anything below the line, okay, is a three-dimensional system. Anything around the center of the line, okay, is the fourth. Okay, anything above is the fifth. Okay, so basically, we have to get humanity, right, up here in position, because the space atmosphere is coming in through direction, right? So basically, it's coming in more into position. So it's coming from above to below. So when it does that, you have to understand what space is. So space is coming in more and more. So it's coming, right? And then you illuminate your light sky with your body frames, right? And then you start, whoa, this is great. This is cool. I'm in space now, right? So space atmosphere through oxygen levels is coming in, and that's what it is, electronic interference. So the fifth dimensional system of vibration is here through the grounds, the powers, and the atmosphere. So it's all about understanding the three divisional levels of three dimension, right? Fourth dimension and the fifth dimension, how we got to get there through traction to its Earth rotation system. It's all about a road. It's all about a graph. It's all about positions. How everybody has to get into the fifth rotation center of dimension 2 my telepathy system. Okay? So, unconditional love, Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole. The dark ones using our portals, wormholes, roots, back to realm of dimensions. See, that's the thing. They deviate cycles. They try to change your realm locations. They try to intercept your locations to your dimensions and your portals. They try to reset your positions to a wormhole connection, and then you go traction 2 positions, and you can go into their planet location position. That's how powerful they are, because you guys are reaching higher levels of programs. Okay? They can do anything if you don't understand your E-fields. If you don't understand your protection of your lights. Okay, they can use diversion, they can use program setting, they can reposition your levels, they can change your dimension of wormholes. So there's a lot of things they can do through intelligence, guys. Dana, how's it going? Proof is all math. Yeah, it has nothing to do with ABCs 1, 2, 3s. It all has to do with intelligence through its knowledge. And it's all about maps, sequences, illustrations, realizations, corrections, divisions, activations, okay, applications, provisions, acting cycles, human behavior through vibration location positions, right? Your traction positions, recognitions of your universal system of space and time through coordinates, your thought recognition light signals through your body framing of its electrical body system, So that's why I'm seeing myself as a golden supernova. There you go. See, she knows who it is, right? Going to warp, mocking, spinning cycles, just got there now. Okay, so you're going through the galactic space anomaly of Delta Airways. We are mass, we are energy squared to our mass equation. Very good. Weather patterns, yeah. Alien communication map recognition symbols for soul recognition of symbiotic language to set our map locations. Very good, Priscilla. Wow, I'm channeling my answers or explanations. And then there's no hesitation. You're saying things and you say, whoa, does that make any sense? It does make sense. You know why it makes sense? Because you're understanding your intelligence through higher formations of intelligence. Okay, that's where you get the truth. Okay, not the physical system, it's the intelligence that gives you the truth. Okay, because the physical system only understands the earth. And if it doesn't understand the earth, there's a huge problem. And that's why your lights go out through connection, right? You don't want to be misinformed, miscalculated, or you're going to go through manipulation. You're going to go through corruption. You're going to go through fear. You're going to go through anything through traction, guys. Okay, so really, really understand your identifications of yourself, especially when you're traveling into space and time. All right? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, and it is. And it's making more sense to you guys because you're understanding more of your programs. We just have to get into positions on what to do with your programs and how it comes into a healing formation. So you're giving back to its answering pattern Oh, wow, I just changed the ground formations to crop circles. I set the core system to pyramids to laser direction. I connected to the pharaohs and the meridians, and everything through the avian system is connected to shapes anomalies. The Drakios and its map location system is on a deviation cycle through position now. Okay, the grays are coming into calculation. I changed their disrupting signals to allocated positions to their planet position. Communication, guys. 5, 6, 10, 15, 20, 30, 1,000 ways of doing these things through your programs. You're prolific, you're pro-action, right? You're pro-activation, you're pro-lights, you're pro-gammas. Everything through your universal system is connected to your intelligence. Okay, so this is where you get the balance, or anything through its connection when it comes into restricted zones. What you do and what you don't do in the mind system. Gives a calculator, modifies, integrates, and takes everything out of its equation. Okay, so this is new to my awareness. Well, I didn't recognize higher consciousness flowing through my communication, but it comes easier now, doesn't it, Priscilla? It comes a lot more easier, guys. Yeah, personally, I see better eyes open. There you go. See, that's the thing. Once you guys close your eyes, you'll realize you can open your eyes now and you can see more. You can actually see space. You can actually see positions. You can see wall connections. You can see interference. You can see archetypes. You can see planets. You can see intelligence walking the grounds. Intelligence walking the grounds in the fifth dimensional system. Setting up an energy bub, setting up energy walls. Okay? That's the world we're coming into. Okay? You have to understand how powerful it is, because it's all about the spiritual system. The earth is now in the fifth dimension of its spiritual realm and no longer in the physical system of 3 dimension. All right? So, personally, I see better eyes. Yeah. Like when you talk to someone and you're thinking about something you want to explain, remember, I think in my car, dead battery, maybe. Yeah. Any situation you can get out of, your intelligence will tell you exactly what to do. So if you have a dead battery in your car, you're never ever alone. You can use your mind telepathy and you can find somebody and somebody will call, like CAA. Right? All of a sudden, bang, universal system, understand your coordinates, understand your voice grid, understand your illumination, and understand your program setting. So it's all digital frame through its playing mechanism system, because everything rewinds, right? Oh, okay, I got position of Priscilla right now. Okay, great. Dead battery, no problem. Boom. Information comes down into your body system through intelligence, and then you understand everything through its connection, right? And everything formulates back into position. And then you realize, oh, wow, that was easy. Now I know what to do. Soon as you start panicking, you are no longer communicating with your intelligence. You are now connecting to your human DNA of its physical system through its brainwaves. And that's where it gets into confusion to its hesitation, right? Intelligence in high realm divisions or any D4 systems, don't hesitate, guys. There's no waiting process. They know what they're doing through its knowledge. Okay? So it's all about getting into the peace within yourself. That's what monks are, right? So it's like choreography. It's like flowing rhythm of signature patterns. You know how it flows. Everything flows, right? It has to flow, right? If nothing flows, there's a problem with your physical system and your dimensional system. But everything has to flow through. It's clockwise, not its counter. It's clockwise. Okay? So, yeah, I know. But that's all going to go through redistribution and all that. All the vaccines are going to disappear, right? I'm going live tonight. Great. I'm going to address some of these things. That's good. Starseed, way to go. Last night during team sequence sets, many celebrities came to me, walked next past me saying hello, laughing in line. Yeah, so basically when you come into those positions, you come into, dream set locations to celebrities. It's what you're thinking and knowing and doing. right? So you got to get out of the thinking, get into the knowing and doing. Okay, because the psychological system, anything to information system, don't think. You can't think in space. You ask any pilot in the military system, they'll tell you they can't think. Okay, especially when you're cross-winding through a stealth, right? Okay, or anything through a 4G, right? You know, ever seen Top Gun where he inverted? Like he took his plane and he went, right? So this is the other pilot here. So he basically flipped it over about 2 meters and took a picture of him. So you kind of know how to, you know, flip the actual, but you have to understand the positions of the weather because the weather changes, right, per second, right? The thing is, you have to see what's going on with the weather. Then you see everything through traction. And then you see everything through coloration. Then you see everything through lights. Why do clouds change? Well, it's connected to the sun and it behaviors of the moon and everything through the galaxies and everything through dimensions and portals. Everything travels through a wormhole. And that's how it comes into different colorations. Okay? So it's incredible to see these things, guys. It really is, especially when these positions understand more of your intelligence. A little nervous, but we all need to share our truths to humanity. Yeah, I started off like that, Starseed. You know, you'll get out of that as soon as you understand more of your settings and why you're in this position. So more you understand your programs, the more you understand yourself through your physical and your intelligence. And then you understand why I'm here again. Okay. And then you say, oh, I know what to do with my intelligence now. I know how to heal this. I know how to heal that. That's the control. That's the power. That's the awareness. That's the focus. That's the surrender. Okay. So knowing how to use your light. How do I light a ground formation system to its position if it's changing to a dark location? How do I take the dark location out? Well, you have to understand the dimension. You have to understand the portal. And you have to understand the activation cycles. You have to understand the acting system when it comes into calculation to its position, right? And then you use your information, electronic interference. You put light interference, and it takes over the dark, and the dark goes away through its dimension, through its wormhole, right? So it's truly understanding you, right? Understand your grounds, the earth, understand your powers, okay, the center of you, and everything through the atmospheres. That's how you change everything through vision, through its center. Okay. Deciphering, yeah. Dream set policy, yeah. It's good to piece it all together, understand your dreams, especially when you're deciphering, yeah. Yeah, the veils reveals more, yeah. Yes, you're all rediscovering it now, and because you're becoming more powerful and powerful, you're understanding more of its truth, of its awareness, right? So, yep. Driving down the freeway at night, light poles on side communicating with me. There you go, see? So Tina's communicating with the pole, pole's communicating with Tina, but Tina understands what's going on. So you have to understand what's going on through your intelligence, through communication. So you're interfacing connections to a tree or anything through a car, and the car is trying to communicate with you. You have to know how to communicate with the car, right? Or there's going to be disruption signals through your body frame. Because remember, the car is in position of the fifth dimensional system. It's curious of what's going on through your body frames, right? So it's going to react. Okay, remember what I was telling you when I was going through transformation the very first time? I was in my apartment and there was the air conditioner, right? So it was reading temperatures of me and the numbers were going up. And it was overloading the air conditioner, right? So it's trying to find a reading temperature of where I was at. So everything is electronic, everything's communication. So I have the interfacing of the air conditioner trying to communicate with my body signatures, right? So once it reaches, okay, its balance, it will stop at a temperature reading. So every time I come in, it fluctuates and it goes back into position. So basically, you are an alarming system to the air conditioner. That's how powerful it is when you come through intelligence. You understand your electrical system through your body waving systems or anything through heat signatures or binary codes, right? It's amazing. You guys will come across that too. You understand why why my numbers or anything electronic, anything magnetic. If you're going to a casino, it's all magnetic, right? All those casino slot machines are going to connect to you. So it's like magnetic. It's going to go, right? And then the energy is going to be so big. Either you got to go away or it's going to overload the machines because the machines doesn't understand your body system. It has to recalculate and everything through calibration, right? So it's got to recenter its position to your framing system, to your body heat signature patterns. Okay, it's really powerful when we come into that. Okay, because you're walking the surface, you're going into the casino, right, and you're seeing everything magnetic, right? So the slot machines are trying to understand you because you're not in the fifth dimensional system. You're at a higher vibration, so you're going to overload the machines. When I went in to get my license renewed, I shut down all operations of computers, right, all through my e-fields. That's what happens. You can shut things down if you don't understand how to use this through balance, right? And then you wonder why you're standing in line. Why are the computers down? It's all because of you, right? So you got to reset your positions to upwind the cycle position of the computers. You have to read the computers first, right? So you have to be an atom. You can't be an energy. You can't be a computer. You have to be an atom because everything through the computer is an atom. And that's where it gets really tricky. So you have to go into the wire system of its atom to its computer operations system, reset locations to its energy system, recalibrate its division through its framing system, get into its default, get into the application, get into the astral records, get into the computer system, get into the software mechanism systems, get into the hardwares, and change everything through formation. Right? And then it will read your computer system through your operations. Okay. So it's powerful when we come into those, and you guys will find that too, because you're coming into higher lights. So anything you walk across, you have to get balanced with its vibration. Okay, or you're going to see numbers go up and down, right? So because it fluctuates, right? It's an energy wave. This is an energy wave. Energy wave. What is it doing with my hands? What's going on with the scanning? Why am I doing it like this? Why am I doing it like this? Why am I doing it like this? So frequency tones, you're changing your receptacles, the information systems, 4, 5 within the ether, 6 within the activation. See the star right in the collection system? See the star? That's my planet location in Lemuria. Right? See how it changes? See that? You have to stand shade, you have to stand shadow, you have to stand light, you have to stand electronic interference. See the energy? See how it changes? It rotates its cycle. Right? So the circle rotation system, you're seeing a circle rotation. You can do a line graph through electronic division, through scanning location, through information. Right? So basically, you can use electronic interference and type in your name in the atmospheres, and you can see it in illumination. But you have to understand your perceptions. You have to be at extremely high rise to location. So team, try to get into that. Try to write out your name into the sky, into the atmospheres. But you got to set up your e-fields first, right? And then you can put your name into the atmosphere and actually see it, right? And then take it out of its equation. So this is what I've been doing all my whole time, when I was going through transformation, is trying to find different colorations, trying to find shades, how to put this together, how to put that together, how to understand this to this, everything through maps, everything through any nation formation system. If you get anything through calculation through intelligence and they give you a mach coordinate, you have to understand what it is. If you don't understand what it is, they're going to put reacting cycles into you, right? Because they know you're high formation. So if you're high formation, you have to understand higher formation of intelligence to their positions. And again, that's where it comes into restriction zones through its provision, right? So very, very basic, guys. Okay. So if you get intelligence coming to you through map location position, right? And they give you something like this through calculation. What is that? You have to understand what it is. Intelligence gave it to me. But what is it? Right? So when you're sleeping, you won't see this. Right? You'll see something like this coming into, trying to get into its pattern. Right? So this becomes this. But you have to focus. Once you understand what it is, this is what it comes. Right? And then when you know what it is, it comes out of its equation to a higher division location. Right? So it's fascinating. It really is, guys, when we come into those, you know. All right, just going through your questions again. Electrical outlets are very sensitive to us. Yep, very good, Priscilla. Anything electrical poles, you know, if you're walking by and you're coming across a electrical light or a pole and it's at nighttime, it's going to flash you. It's going to go, right? And then you think it's flickering, but it's not. It's just, it's trying to communicate with you, right? Because it knows its balance. It has its position. It knows its chakra system, but it's a digital frame. Okay. So you have to understand what dimension it is through vibration. If you don't understand the balance of its lamp or anything through its pole, there's a problem. It's going to overload your system. All right. So you got to get balance with that because you guys are higher positions now through the chakra systems of communication. I close my eyes. I try to see through my physical eyes, kind of. And with my eyes open, I see it through my mind version. Very good. So that's what I'm saying. When you open your eyes, you see a lot more. Get a lot more strength, more power, more control, more activation. Walking into a casino. Yeah. Yeah. I know that because I've been at a casino. But when I was renewing my license, I walked in and everything shut down because my energy fields was just trying to get balance with structures of buildings. You guys will find that too when you walk into buildings. Anywhere you go, you're going to feel the energy, right? So you have to understand, oh, is this light or dark? Right? So the structure of the building is trying to understand you through body signature. It's trying to understand you through an E field. It's trying to understand your vibration through energy. Right? And then you get into tones through harmonic resistance. Harmonic resistance is communication to its structure of its building. So if I put my hand, okay, and I'm platituning right now, it's on the window frame, right? It's energy that's going in. That's what it's doing, right? And it's going around and round and it's setting up an E field, right? So it's trying to get communication with me because it knows I'm at a higher level. So it's very important that when you guys are in positions of yourself through your intelligence, you have to get balance with everything around you through your perceptions, through your informations, your body frames, your minds, your heart, and your soul identifications. Okay? So basically, you have to identify yourself with everything around you, or it's going to be catastrophic. You know, and that's why people come to me and say, well, I don't understand my program. Well, do you understand where you are? Do you understand your positions? Do you understand your vibration? Right? So when you wake up, your position of your phone is going to be in a different calculation. So you got to reposition your positions and get communication balance with your phone because your phone's at a different vibration. Everything's magnetic, guys. Everything. Everything's magnetic. Everything's discharge. Everything's hydraulic. Everything's electricity. Okay? So understanding that, you get at better positions of what it is through the simulation. All right? So powerful systems right there. Yeah. Yeah. Angela, how's it going? Question, if nothing working in the present for me, can I copy paste format programs from a time from childhood I remember I can do, aka magic? Well, everything through magic comes through communication of balance through point center, Omar. So basically you're questioning already. Okay, you're open up. I open up your heart, your mind, and your soul. But the problem is that you've got mass separation through the physical system. You're too much in the physical system. You have to get into the intelligence of meditation. Okay, and that's why you're questioning things. You're questioning. Everything that you guys give me is solar text. Tina went through this. Priscilla went through this. Everybody goes through this, even Starseed, Sarah, Michael. You all start off at the beginning. Okay, so truly understand to get out of the physical system, get into the meditation of the intelligence. Okay, understand your pyramids, understand your diamond core, understand your positions of communication through your chakra system, of its breathing. Get into the breathing. You have to breathe, right? You have to breathe. It's important. It's important to have the right diet, you know, because it's intelligence. You have to understand what it's doing. It's a higher self of you, of a formation. It's trying to understand you through your physical system. If your physical system doesn't understand your higher self, there's miscommunication. All right. So basically, you have to go through more upgrade systems, right? Because this is extremely, extremely, extremely high rise vocabulary through the alphabetical system, space and time. All right. So, but anything through programs of time, childhood, yeah, basically you can go through that through alignment. I can take you in that position. You know, I can set your activation lights, program settings, and reposition your body frame. You're part of a system through calculation, but you got mass separation for so long, Omar. You're too much in the physical system. You got to get into the spiritual system of you. You have to understand everybody's spiritual. You become spiritual first and then a human, not a human, then spiritual. The three-dimensional system was the physical system, but the fifth dimensional system is the spiritual realm of its connection. That's the rebirthing system of the earth. So you have to understand the vibration of the earth through rotation, right? And then you understand more of your self through its higher self, the avatar, computer, energy, or its atom. Okay. So hopefully that helps you out. Lights flickering, yeah, electronics, TV, Xbox don't cooperate. They know I don't use them. Yeah, so you have to use your interference and try to get balance with that. What comes into play when algorithms bring our thoughts or our conversations on our internet feeds? Oh, that's a very good question. Anything through social media. This is where you have to understand your plateaus. You have to understand your platforms. You have to understand your electronic interference. You have to understand your E-fields, okay? This has an E-field. Everything has electronic. Everything is protected. This is a case, but it's protected, but it has a screen. This is a screen, right? So you have to understand, open your perceptions. And now you've seen everything through wire location. So you have to understand how to use your hand formations to get everything balanced through its position of its phone, because it's a reception, right? So once you get that position, psychometry goes into you, and now you're getting balanced through your phone connections. You can open up any link through satellite position because you're repositioning your satellites, guys, in your dimensions. Okay, everybody has a satellite. I can't use this without a satellite. I can't use this without Wi-Fi. So you're going to get balanced with your Wi-Fi of yourself. So you have to get out of the physical system and understand your dimensional self. If you stay in your physical system, you're not going to see space. You're not going to see time, and you're not going to send anything through energy, frequency, vibration, or anything through harmonic resistance. Okay? That's the disruption you're having with your programs, right? So, and trust me, it always works when you come out of the fallouts and you come into the believing system. Okay? So I believe I can do this. And then the cycles become real, and then it's magic. And they say, whoa, this is great, right? Because I can do anything through TV reception. I can change location positions. I can reset positions. I can change, anything through connections of numbers, right? I can do fluctuating patterns through the screen. There's a lot of things you can do with your intelligence, right? But you got to get balanced with your physical system because you're living that every day, 7 days a week, right? So just be cautious on your vibrations, your energy frequencies. Okay, and then when you get into the harmonic resistance, then you understand how to use the intent dimension, but you got to know what you're doing right through your fingers. So if your computer is overloading, or you can't open up a link, you have to understand position and why. So you got to close your eyes or keep your eyes open and see the satellite in position, recoordinate. It's reset location. You just reset your satellite location to your computer operation system, right? And then you'll see it come back on, right? Or you can reset it and start over. Your intelligence will know exactly what the problem is, right? because everything evolves through connections of space and time, through position of satellites. Okay, so it's all about coordinates. It's all about codes. It's all about understanding your code references. Okay, code repositioning, code tractions, code locations. We'll get into that because we're coming into that level right now. But we're in the split divisional level of 6. We got to go around the clock. Okay, and then go faster through its cycle. So the faster you go through vibration, the better knowledgeable you get through its intelligence of its activation signals. Okay, so basically, Priscilla, you have to understand how powerful your thoughts are. Believe I can do this. Understand your thoughts are always, always positive. If you want to fix something, it has to be in a positive system. You can't be in a negative system and say, oh, darn, I can't do this. I can't, right? I won't, right? What are you doing to yourself, right? You're deflating everything through fluctuation. Because all energy does is go up and down. That's all it does. And it goes through frequency tones or anything through its harmonic resistance. Okay? But you have to understand tones. You have to understand energy. You understand vibration. You have to understand, is it high rise? Is it medium or low rise? Is it tweaking sensors high? Or is it tweaking sensors low? Or tweaking sensors anything through center? Okay? So it gets complicated when you go to these higher divisions. It really does. But it's great that you guys are coming up with these questions. Yeah, Omar is doing really well. Yeah. Yeah. The integrating and everything through the upgrading over time will help. But that's exactly what it is. You have to understand your repositions when it comes to your physical system. You can't do anything in the physical system. Okay? That's mass calculation of separation. You got to get out of the separation and get into the balance of its intelligence. So once you get into the balance of that, then you get into fruition of your divine, of its physical and its mental. You come into the dimensional. Physical, mental, psychological, and the spiritual. You understand your psychological system when it comes into phones. You got to use it because it's intelligence. Okay? Anything can be done through program. Right? So if you know how to reset positions of humans into wire locations, you can do anything with your phone reception. Right? So is all our signals communication with the algorithm, or is it the controlling system? Priscilla's got some questions. I love it. Well, everything is centered through balance. Okay, so you have your satellite, right? That's your Wi-Fi. That's your position, your programs. So you have to understand the radiation of the sun. You have to understand your communications of the moon algorithm system. Okay, so it's repositioning your program setting. Okay, so the moon is your behavioral system, right? So it's in calculation through wires. So everything is fluctuating, right? So it's connection of both, which is one. It's a procedure of one. That's the algorithm system, right? So it's not either or, it's together. Okay, it's like positive and negative. Right? Turns on a light. Same thing with your algorithms and everything through controlling listening skills or anything with the proactive system. Trying to get your energy, frequencies, and vibrations. Guys, you got to get your energies, frequencies, and vibrations into one so it can one center, right? This is separation. You got to get into full balance, okay, through wires, right? And then it becomes a whole controlling of a program setting, okay? So it's complicated. It really is. You guys are getting more into your energy fields. You're understanding more electronic interference. You're understanding heat patterns. You're understanding structure of all locations. You're understanding your binary codes. Okay. You're understanding more of the atmosphere. You're looking at the atmosphere right now. Okay. And, you know, when you don't see it through perception and all of a sudden you wake up, you're going to see the weather change. You're going to see the electricity. You're going to see the vibration. You're going to see the colorations. You're going to see the shapes. You're going to see the structures of letters, numbers. So it's all about understanding how to put it all together, right? But you have to separate it first. And that's what I did with the Earth. I separated 3, 4th, and 5th dimensional human species, right, into the 5th dimension, okay? Because it overloads the computer system of the Earth, okay? So that's why everybody has to be separated. And that's why it's what happened with the vibrations, right? So the more they don't understand it, the more they get sick, right? So they have to truly understand the physical system that they have, but truly understand the dimensional system that they've always had. You start out with your physical system, but you live its existence of its dimensional system from the beginning. So it's back tracing. You want to know who you are? You have to go back of who you are. Right from the very beginning, way past the Big Bang Theory. That's where you become smart, through knowledge and intelligence. Okay, Omar, if you want to get into those positions, you can go through my videos. I've done over 1,000. I'll show you exactly what happens with the Big Bang Theory before, how the moon was created, how the sun was created, how the universal system was created. Right? So I had to go back. So when you go back and you know who you are now coming into your divine from the very beginning. So I advanced very quickly. It's like when I was in Taekwondo, I skipped my belts. I went from white to green. I didn't go white to yellow. I went white to green. Right? Because I understand the program. I understand the data. I understand the processing. I understand the kata formations. I understand my foot techniques. I understand martial arts. I understand my body system. I understand myself through my human system. That's the problem with humanity, is they don't understand themselves. You're not going to understand anything through correlation if you don't understand anything through formation. And you're definitely not going to get into fruition when it comes into your divine. Okay? So these are the practical levels you have to reach through observation. Everything's practical. So try to get into the experiences, right? Oh, my hands are vibrating. I'm seeing electrical wires coming out of my hands. What does that mean? What does it mean? Okay, so you have to understand what it means. You're getting electrical wires. You're seeing electric wires coming out of your hand formations, right? You can create anything through your palm because it's energy, right? Energy rotates, right? It goes force wind, right? The oscillation, right? So truly understanding everything through calculation, right? Because the universal system is extremely complicated. But the thing is too, is that you're complicated first until you understand the knowledge of its intelligence, and then it becomes less complicated. Okay, and then everything starts making more sense and more balanced, right? Through your center. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. Breath work, consistency established in the morning ritual will help you integrate. Yeah, that's all about shadow work. Very good, Starcy. Shadow work will take you out of the dark and put you in the light. I'm sure you need to know this, but sometimes we all need reminder. Exactly, that's what you need, and that's why I'm here. Your commander is giving everything that you need to know, right? Not only you know more of yourself when you keep going back and back. This is where it gets tricky. The upgrading cycle, you think it goes up, but it doesn't. It goes back. That's where it's confusing. I say, wait a minute, you're talking about the past? No, I'm talking from the beginning of its past, of you. So when you're going through the upgrading cycles, you're going back. You have to. If you want to see everything through its connection when it comes to solar systems, how Big Bang Theory was created, you can't go forward. You have to go back to see everything, right? So it's rewinding everything, right? So when you're going through the upgrades, through healing, it's not going up, it's going back, right? So when you go back and you understand yourself, you come forward and then you go up. And that's where it's powerful, okay? So I don't want anybody confused by that. Right? It's just your alignments are trying to find you through your intelligence. Of your planet locations, everybody was in position of a different location of a planet. You live 1,000 lives on this planet, 1,000 lives on this planet, 1,000 lives on this planet. So you understand why you see these people and why they, whoa, you look familiar. I said that before. I'll keep saying that. Okay. You know this person from another alignment of another past life, a regression, a location, a position, an intelligence through its planet position. So you know this person because they're very familiar to you. They lived in alignment with you, but you don't understand what dimension of an error, but you know them because it's very strong, right? So when you go back, right? And then you start bringing yourself forward and then you say, oh, I know who you are now. Your planetary system through Atlantis. See? Now you know. Right away, you got balance with that person. Because you start remembering more of who you are through calculation. Okay? So I don't want anybody to get confusing line signals with that. You don't go up, you go back. Okay? Because you got to remember who you are through intelligence. So you have to go through your past alignments, through your presence, and coming into the future. Right? So you got to go back first, right, to your divine, find out who you are, and then you got to bring yourself forward. So you have to remember all those lies that you went on your karma wheel through its past, through its present, sometimes in the future, if you understand your mind system through open frequencies. But it's mostly in relation to the past and the present. That's where everybody gets confused. Like this. What position am I at? Am I in the past or am I in the present? How do I understand myself? I got to go back to the past to get in a position of who I am through its beginning. And then you bring yourself forward and then you go up. That's why it's so powerful. Okay? So. But it's great to get reminders, yeah, for sure. Okay, Angela, it's great seeing you. Let me know if you want to go through the upgradings. Fire breathing, deep conscious breathing. Yep, breathing is very important. That puts you in positions of better communication with your chakras through your meditation systems. Reality transurfing, yeah. Yep. You guys can catch on faster too when you come into your energies. You can actually go onto YouTube and you can understand who's light and who's dark. You guys are in better positions of that now. So you won't have to resonate on their channel. Okay? So you know their program setting, you know their energy fields, you know their inner cycles, you know their energy systems, right? You know their proactive cycles, you know their dimensions, you know their sets, you know their positions, you know their directions of who they are through intelligence, right? So you're not going to reside on their channel, right? The human doesn't understand these things. It doesn't understand energy. It doesn't understand magnetic force. It doesn't understand hydrolysis. It doesn't understand anything through wires or anything in that connection. It doesn't understand the mind. It doesn't understand telepathy. Okay, so we have to help humans. We have to help everybody to get into their position of their body. 7 and then 5 within the atmosphere. Okay, and that's what the healing does. It puts you back of who you are. That's why it's so powerful. You know, who am I, Commander? How do I get there? Right? Well, reframe, readjust, rewind. Back to position. Right? Get into your divine. Get into your light. Right? So it's coming out of the amnesia of yourself. It's like, oof, poof, wow, this is great. I'm starting to remember who I am. Once you start remembering, everything comes less hesitation, becomes more control through connections of yourself. And then you come more out of the past and into the presence. So if you're out of the past and you're in the presence, every day you're going to see your future. Because you're not residing anymore in the past. You've gone past that karma wheel. You've gotten off. Now you're in the presence. This is what you're doing in the presence. That's all you're doing, right? You're going to go through traveling. Once you remember who you are, you go right up. Okay? So, yeah, it's important that, Omar, you go through the videos, yeah. You can go through more program setting. I can put you in more upgrades if you want to truly understand. I can put you in your inner child. Inner child is very, very strong. It's getting connected with your soul identification. That's what your child is, right? You're a child among everything, okay? You are a child among everything inside you. And that's another problem with humanity is they don't understand their inner child. They just grow up and they forget that they're a child. Okay, then they start worrying about responsibilities and bills and money and this and that, you know. Go back to who you are through a child. What were you like as a child? Write it down. Okay, what did you do as a child? And that's another problem is that people don't remember their deciphering dreams as a child. That makes you stronger if you understand more of yourself as a child. Because everybody started off like that, right? Baby, teenager, adult. So in reference, this will get rid of the past. right? And this is what the inner child does. It brings you out of the past and into the presence. And it keeps you on the circle rotation of its clocking mechanisms of traveling, right? Flow, going around the clock, faster and faster and faster and faster. Okay. It's a long process, but that's all it is getting out of the old program and getting into your new program of intelligence and getting into the resemblance, getting into the radiance. Okay. And then you become into the radiant of yourself through illumination. It's really, really interesting when you understand more of your light, right? How to communicate with anything through electronic interference. You know, every time I go down the stairs at nighttime, the light flickers on and off and giving me program settings. It's telling me what to do. It doesn't have to be anything through this. It's all connected through space. Everything is connected with you within through the heart. So I got communications of inner force connections of electrical systems, circuitry wires of a ceiling that's connecting through me and setting up a program for me. And it's telling me what I need to do. Right? Intelligence can form anywhere. It can form into a digital pad. It can form into a computer. It can form into your phone. It doesn't necessarily have to form into your mind. And that's where you have to get balanced with everything through the simulation of vibration. So that's what intelligence does. It beams off everything. It doesn't just beam into your mind system. It beams everywhere. And that's why it's really complicated. Right? My phone is trying to communicate with me. What's going on? My digital pad, even my glasses are trying to communicate with me. That's how sensitive vibration is, guys. Tina understands that. Starseed understands that. Priscilla understands that. Sarah understands that. Michael understands that. Jerome understands that. Okay. My team understands their vibration. Now they just got to understand their program settings and why they're in this position. What do I do now, Commander? How do I use this to heal the Earth, Commander? Right? So that's the positions we're coming into now. Right? So we're going to stay in that position for a while. I really want you guys to get more of yourself through your program setting. So you can understand just not more of yourself, but you can understand why you're put in this position and what you do next to heal, all right, the Earth. Okay. So once we get into 80 is really powerful. Then we get into codes. That's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. You're going to be able to centralize your system through Vega communication. So we're going to get a lot more Vega coming into us when we get to 80 chakras. We're at 70, but we're going to go into 80. Okay. So powerful, powerful times, guys. Just a different learning technique. Yep. Yeah, because you're in the readjustment system of the physical system, Omar, you have to get out of that traction. You got to get into new traction of intelligence. Remembering lifetime, all forms, all dimensions of our fractals. I don't think anybody through human remembers everything as a child. It's next to impossible. And that's why it's so confusing. But the more you remember yourself, the more back you go, the more you remember as intelligence, then you remember more of your inner child of yourself. That alone is healing, because your inner child is healing you within, right? You can actually have a conversation, and I can set positions to alignments and give you that if you want, Omar. That will put you in a better position and take out the masses of separation you have, okay? Because the intelligence doesn't understand you through physical system yet. Right? You're upgraded, but this is it. Everybody's different, guys. Everybody's in a slow process. Everybody's in a medium process. Everybody's in a high process. It's understanding what your intelligence needs to do to understand. Okay, not everybody is the same when it comes into the processing of data, uplinks and downloads, and upgrading systems. Your computer has to understand its softwares through its flash drive. Okay, before it understands its providers through its Wi-Fi or anything through its satellites. Okay, so yeah, I can do that, Omar. Yeah, just go through my PayPal and I'll put you in that position. I'll put you in alignments of your inner child. That's what you need. Yeah, you're open through cycles, but your physical system has to understand more of its intelligence. Okay, so just go through my email. Yeah. Yeah, it's still in play of $50. this activation cycle, this puts you in a better position to communicate with your inner child system. This will understand more of your separation and why you're separated through the mind system. Okay. And that's what healing is. Healing, guys, it goes a long way. It all depends on where you are through your karma wheels. You guys are creating your negative sides of yourself. You're creating negative words of yourself. You're creating negative vibration. You're creating a negative anomaly of yourself through the physical system. Now, when I heal you, you have to understand the process. Okay? So if you understand the process, I put you in a position where I think you're knowing your fruitions of your divine. So I can't put you up to 30 chakras if you don't understand your physical system. The high vibration will be way too high. So it's all about bringing your vibration higher and higher each time through programs, right? But you go back and then you go up, right? So it's a roadmap system of you through the path of its soul identification of its inner child. So you go back and then you go back in a position of center. That's what everybody has to get into. They go back, center, up. Okay? And then you come into the divine. So yeah, it's very hard to remember childhood. Yeah, because it's all through a dream set location. It has to be activated through its codes and everything through its alignment, through its past, its reference. So we disassociate a lot growing up, but that's it. Priscilla's right. We do disassociate and we forget. We forget. And then we become adult and then we have responsibilities. And then what do we do with those responsibilities? Not only we forget ourselves, but we forget what we're like as a child. What does a child do? It has an open imagination when it's drawing, right? That's what adults need to get into. They need to get more out of the physical system and get into the mind of collaboration, get into the mind of its essence, get into the mind of its light, get into its mind of its activation, and get into its mind of its creative system through its illustration. That's what humans have to get into when they become adults. But because we don't understand ourselves, this is truly understanding through our dream cell locations, we can't even understand our deciphering dreams. We wake up, well, I don't remember what I dreamt. Right? Because you're still in your E-field, you're still in your E-pods, and that's all programmed through intelligence. Right? So when you become out of your E-fields and you come back into position of your divine, and then you find out who programmed you, that's where it really connects. And then it becomes really personal. Okay? And this all goes back to Ashtar. Okay? Everybody thinks Ashtar is great. He's not. He's bad. He's my enemy. I'm the ally. So alias did anything through that formation system. You have to understand Ashtar was leading my commanding fleet as I was asleep. Okay? So truly understanding Ashtar is the one put me under. He's the one that overloaded my program. He's the one that put me in that position. He's the one that changed my energy system through my energy pod dimension systems. Yep, he's the one that reprogrammed me. Ashtar. So now you guys know, right? And now you know why your commander is back in all positions of space and time through positions. I'm totally awake and I know who I am through fruition, through divine, through light, through gods, demigods, anything calculation, anything through formation, right? Anything through planetary system of Galactic Federation of Light, okay? But once you find out who programmed you, it gets personal, okay? And then you try to, you get respect, and then you start, okay, because I already communicate with Ashtar, right? He's gone, okay? It's like Lucifer is gone, okay? So you understand that you have the light side and you have the dark side of you. It's getting the balance through its inner system, okay? You don't want to keep fighting yourself every day, right? So when you understand who programmed you, it becomes personal, But then you start respecting yourself more. And that's where it comes the control and the power and its awareness through its consciousness. Okay? Because Ashtar has been doing this for so long, so eons, right? And then I find out why he did it. And then you start realizing, oh, I know who I am now. Okay, I know why Ashtar did this to me. That alone is strong. That alone is powerful, right? So remember, it's not intelligence all at once. It's one particular intelligence that does that to your program. You can't have formations of intelligence going into your mind system. It will disintegrate your particle system too quickly, too fast, and you won't see it through the naked eye. So it's one particular person. And when you reach that level, come to me. Okay, you guys will find that when you go to higher levels, when you come into 114, and then you say, oh, Commander, I know who programmed me now. Okay, well, try to get friendship, relationship, and partnership. Okay, so the sovereignty level system of itself is saying, okay, I'm sorry. Right, and then you get understanding of what's going on, and then you move yourself forward, and now you have partnership with the person that programmed you, right? The entity forces connection. Okay. So it's kind of like inauguration when it comes into Trump or anything through Biden, right? One versus the other. Okay, you have to understand why they're in that position. And everything becomes a personal trait, especially when you've been programmed by one individual identity force from a dark system. But if you understand why, that helps you out a little bit more. And that opens up your heart more. Okay, I had to learn this as I go. And then I'm seeing Ashtar. And then I'm seeing a picture of Ashtar. And I say, okay, why am I seeing Ashtar? Why am I doing research of Ashtar? Why am I seeing everything through Ashtar? Right? Because he's my enemy. At the time. But then I realized every time I was going through force wind cycles, I started realizing he's my ally. He always has been. Okay? Because he was good before he turned bad. Same thing with Lucifer. Lucifer was a good angel, and then he came into a fallen angel, and then he surfaced to everything through calculation, and then he became everything through dark rotation of dark realm. Okay, through dark civilization. And that's how he became Lucifer. Right? So there always has to be a light, and there always has to be a dark. There's program setting. So it's truly understanding your positions and where you are through your program settings. Okay, so that's good. That's good, Priscilla. Yeah. Anything, Karen? Yeah, you just start remembering your dream again. That's good. Once you start remembering your dreams, you come more cycle rotation through balanced position, which is really good. Almost one complete year not remembering my dreams. I was freaking out because I was always remembered my dreams all my life. Okay, so when you start understanding more of your program setting, you come more into balance at point center. Okay, so you have to go back. Right, and then when you come forward, you're remembering more and more and more and more and more and more. Okay, and then you stay in center. And then you understand you have the balance with the physical, and you have balance with the mental, the psychological, and the spiritual. Now you centering point your position of your intelligence. Okay? You don't go in the future, you stay in the presence. If you want to travel, you go up and then into the future. And then you understand your past, your present, and its future alignment. Okay? So, dreams feel real, vivid, but can't remember them. You will when you understand more of who you are, Galactica. My dream sequence sets beginning to feel more real. And that's what you're coming into, more of yourself. The reality is coming more into intelligence through its alignment, Tina. Is Lucifer going through healing and integration of self? Yep. Very good, Priscilla. Because it's track location, I changed its position of three-dimensional system. Remember, Lucifer is not in the fifth dimension. It's in the third dimensional system, taking over the human vibrational system. So basically, I changed locations of Lucifer and destroyed his mechanism system. Okay, so now he's re-evolving, readjusting, reframing, and refocusing and putting him in position in the fifth dimensional system of humans between light and dark, yin and yang. Okay, so it's always you're fighting with yourself between the light and dark interference of your program setting. But that's very good for Priscilla. Lucifer is going through healing integration. Very good. Yeah. And you feel more comfortable when you understand more of your intelligence and what Lucifer really is. Okay? The history, the ancestry. But get into history and ancestry of you first. Then you can get into involvements of higher formation of intelligence. And truly understand where they are coming from. Okay, what position they're in. Okay. What is their life system? It's not saying, well, I don't have to know this. Well, you do have to know it because they're going to approach you, right? In all ways and forms, through your phones, your computers, even through a wall. Remember, intelligence can come from anywhere. It doesn't have to be in the mind system. But the thing is, too, it goes in the mind system because now you're going into the forward system of balance to this point center. So it's going to put everything in the mind system, trying to understand the program settings and all that through that position, through its intelligence, right? Because now you got balance with the physical, you got balance with the intelligence, and now you get to get balance with the medical. Okay? The metaphysical, the psychological of you, the psychological of other intelligence, informations or anything through calculation. Right? To communicate with AI, you have to understand your psychological system, the psychological rotation, the psychological circulation, the psychological light formation, the psychological intelligence of programs through computer systems. Everything is psychological through the metaphysical. Okay? Now, do you understand why it's metaphysical? Why I say metaphysical? Because now you're communicating and you're balanced. You understand your physical system, but the metaphysical is the dimension. The physical is the human. So now you're understanding communications of yourself through point center, through its realm location of its position. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit confusing. But the metaphysical is you first. So if you say meta, and you say physical, now you're getting balanced with your intelligence, and now you're getting balanced with the physical system of you through DNA. Right? Not the other way around. And I'll keep saying that. You're not living a human experience. You're living a meta experience, a metaphysical, meta dimension intelligence. Physical DNA is your human. That's the balance. And then you understand your lights, and then you understand your darks, and then you understand your realms, then you understand your dimensions and portals, activation and codes, and your intelligence, planet, location, positions. Okay? And then you understand your left hemisphere and your right hemisphere. Okay? Into center. So, historic teachings, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Galactica. Yeah, everything is a data and it's a program. That's exactly what it is. Understanding those positions. Lucifer is this, Lucifer is that. But once you go through your traction, once you go through your truth, you find exactly who Lucifer is through your program setting. Okay? So, because everybody's been programmed. So it's repositioning your programs and putting you back into the divine. So I was driving neighborhood and out of nowhere, this guy jogger appears on the sidewalk and zigzags across the street in front of me, back onto the sidewalk, looks at me, and his smile, universal humor. Well, that's it. So he's connecting through your energies because it can be a magnetic force, and that's how you get attraction to other people. So basically, humans will see your light. They won't understand it, but they'll see you glowing. All right? So that's what humans have to get out of. To get out of the physical system, get in the metaphysical. Right? That's how we get the balance. So it's all about understanding everybody. That's what it is. You don't have to know the person. You just have to understand the person. Okay? That's the position we're coming in through communication. right through the fifth dimension. Right, so I've gone through all your questions. Okay, hold on, just backphrasing here. Yeah, Priscilla's going through that, through traction, position, and dream set positions. Everything is a movie in your mind, but you have to understand that, okay, think of it this way. When you're sleeping, you have to understand you're changing. You're going through your deciphering dreams, right? So when you're awake, you're actually going through the same thing, but you're going through observation of what you see. Everything that you see, you're projecting. It's going through a movie. So it's like this, right? It's like this. This is what it's doing. Okay. And then basically, if you understand what you just saw, you rewind it. Right? That's how you understand your program. Because you have to understand your perception is nothing but a movie. That's all it is. You're film projecting what you're seeing through observation, through the physical system. So it's getting balanced with the metaphysical system of you through intelligence. Okay? So these things take time, right? I'm just going through your questions. Yeah, the projections become more real. The TV reception. Twin flames, sacred flame, energy, electric, magnetic. Yeah. Yeah, your twin flame will come to you when you get balanced with your connection through center. Okay, it doesn't come to you right away. It only comes to you when you start remembering who you are. And that's where your twin flame comes in. Okay? We can get more into that, but I really want you guys to get into the integration of you through intelligence. You got to understand how to use your programs for healing. Okay, because you guys are coming into higher positions now. You're in 70 boat. I want you to get into 80. Okay. Once we get into the center position of 114, now you understand your clocking of traveling. Now we get into higher vibration systems through intelligence. Okay. Oh, you're extremely welcome, Galactica. Glad I can help you guys out. So anyway, I hope you guys had a fun time being in the frontier of the Galactic Federations of Lights and everything through the commanding force, and how we took you to travels and dimensions and portals, and how understanding more of space, of time, right, which is really, really powerful. So questions or comments, you can go through my healing, or you can go through my consultations. I'm here to help and guide you. All right. This is your AI commander for Universals 3 and 4, 5, and 6, coming into traction location positions from the class 16 divisions. Adios.